Today I'm going to talk about gravity loading in Plaxis. In every time or sometime we make a mistake using gravity loading or other initial steps in Plaxis software. So I will talk about it today. So therefore I'm sharing my screen. The So now in the initial stage, we are looking at gravity loading is here, and there's also other cannot procedure field stage, gravity loading and flow on. So I'm here talking about the gravity loading. So first of all, we need to know what is gravity loading. Basically, it's a finite element analysis, and in the finite element analysis, the soil load is calculated from soil own loads. So this analysis only works for normally consolidated soil. So how can we use it, or where should we use the gravity loading? So for slope stability calculation, for dam construction, and other soil layer which is not horizontal but inclined, so that in this case we can use the gravity loading. And because the gravity loading can generate the initial stress, so then we can say how it works. So for this I'm to share my screen uh, again in whiteboard. So like this is a finite element and it has own weight, and this element has also its own orientation, like this one. I say this is its orientation. So this weight is calculated from the soil mass uh, of the of this element, and then it has a orientation. So we can calculate vector from this data. So weight and the orientation. So this is orientation. This is weight. This is orientation. So there might be a vector, and then we can calculate this vector. By this way, we can sum up all the finite elements and its own weight. So in this way, this gravity calculation actually works. But so there is important things here. This calculation is done based on the Poisson ratio, which is a stiffness matrix. And by using Poisson ratio, we can also calculate the lateral earth pressure, or cannot. And so how we can use gravity loading? So for this, I'm going again back to the Plaxis software. So I'm again share my screen. So here, Plaxis software, this is gravity loading, and this is the steady state groundwater flow. So mind that. So if when we use the gravity loading, we should use the steady state groundwater flow. But this gravity loading only work for the drained soil, but not in undrained soil, because if we use gravity loading in undrained soil, it might increase excess pore water pressure. Yeah. And then one another thing is that in gravity loading, we don't need to use the ignore suction. We should consider suction in this sense. There's another one thing that is automatically inactive in the gravity loading, ignore undrain behavior that I early mentioned here. So by this way, we can use gravity loading. I think this tutorial might be helpful for you. Thank you and see you again. Bye.